everyone. Welcome to another episode of Stuttering in Silence. My name is Matthew Lepore, and I'm joined with...
Gavin Soden.
Gavin, what are we going to be talking about today?
We're going to be talking about sports today.
What kind of sports?
All sports.
You sure?
I promise you.
All right, guys. Well, if you're as excited as I am, and I'm sure Gavin is as well, take a seat, sit back, relax, and enjoy.
And we're live.
We are live.
We're good to go. Hello, everyone. My name is Gavin Soden, as you probably heard in the intro.
And I'm Matt Lepore, as you guys definitely heard in the intro.
But yeah, so I just wanted to kind of outline some of the things that we're going to be talking about here today, and specifically in this podcast today. So we're going to be talking about sports, and we're going to cover all the sports. You know, we're going to cover football, baseball, hockey, wrestling, weightlifting, things along those lines. You know, we're going to cover a lot of the highlights of it. You know, a lot of the big things, the big events, the upcoming events.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? But no, I'm super excited to start this podcast officially. I know we've put a lot of work into it.
A lot of work.
So, yeah, no, I'd say that we put a lot of work into it for sure. So I'm excited to go ahead and get it started and underway. And we're going to be starting off today talking about
some powerlifting.
Some powerlifting. All right,
yeah,
cool.
we had a big world record set by Tamara Walcott. She is absolutely insane. I know Gavin and I have been watching her for like a long time now. Because Gavin's getting into the powerlifting scene now, absolutely crushing it. And, you know, like I compete in strongman, but she just did 636 pounds.
And that's a world record for women, right?
Yes, that is a world record for the women's. And then if you guys watch the video, it was absolutely insane. She pulled it from the floor. She does have a really cool kind of setup that everyone else really doesn't do. You know, she takes it nice and slow, does her own little like dance to it. But yeah, Gav, she got 2 white lights.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
So, yeah, and that's because only 2 out of the 3 judges said that she completed it. But
and there's always that one dickhead in there. Yeah.
Yeah, trust me. As an athlete, there's always that one ref or that one somebody that's just like, you know what, you're not going to have fun today.
Yeah, no. But she killed it. You know, they were the one judge was like, she hitched or whatever it was, or wasn't fast enough, or but she got the 2 out of 3, so that was pretty exciting.
And hitch is when like you just jerk up, right?
Yeah, you get like the little like extra inch pulling from your back or whatever it is, just to kind of get the rep.
Right. Because it's supposed to be slow. Like it's supposed to not be slow, but I mean like it's supposed to be like a controlled movement, not like a jerky movement.
Yeah. And I don't think she hitched. No one else thinks she hits, but you know, there's always that one judge that just wants to put someone down. But in other news, we did have the Shaw Classic this year, which for those of you who don't know, it's like Brian Shaw, 4-time world strongest man. He started his own kind of competition. One of the biggest things that we're kind of finding out now, and we just had Trey Mitchell, you know, the big strong cowboy, win. I know Gavin gets to deal with all my strongman lifting crazy stuff during the week. Nothing like these guys, but you know, it's one of the big things that are kind of really encapsulating the world right now. I think it's getting pretty popular. I know a lot of people are starting to compete. We have our friend Kevin. He's getting into it. So
I'm excited for Kev too.
It's gonna be good for him. You know, I hope he does really well. He has Winter Wreckage coming up, which is a competition down in Colmar, PA.
Okay.
Maybe we'll get you to compete, Gavin.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I think you know, I'm happy with my noob gains. I'm happy with
you've been killing it. You just got 225?
Yeah.
Smashed it, guys. I mean, smashed it.
Okay, I didn't smash it.
That's a lie. Okay, you hit it, but let me tell you something. You know you smashed it.
Okay. Well,
exactly.
I'm not going to say that. But
guys, he's just really...
Anyway.
Don't think otherwise.
No. But no, I mean, honestly, like with just like working out, getting into like different aspects like strongman and like powerlifting and bodybuilding has just been super fun. You know what I mean? I mean, because like, all right. When I was younger, I used to look at like bodybuilders and stuff and be like, "Oh, that's super unobtainable," or like they're all just steroid freaks, and it's you know. And I honestly thought it didn't take skill. I'm not gonna lie to you, I really thought it didn't take skill, because I just thought, you know, like the average everyday guy, they jump on a cycle, they do some steroids, and you know, and that's it. And they're just that. But with working out consistently and going for these different you know, these gains and you know, the ups and downs of working out, it's shed a whole new light on it for me. So like when these guys actually get up there, and even though they might be on some stuff, you know, they might be on some stuff, they're still insane athletes, you know, because it takes a lot of force to be able to pick up like Eddie Hall, with this 1,000-pound deadlift, you know, or half Thor beating it.
Oh my
know?
gosh. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. But
there was a whole thing with that too.
Yeah.
Because they've been beefing since, not to stop you, but like they've been beefing since like 2017 when Eddie won. Because they were those of you who don't know, I know like Gavin's probably seen it a million times. On the Viking press, half Thor is just ginormous.
Yeah.
And he is what it's called double dipping. It's when you press with your legs, but then you come back down and press with your legs again.
Okay.
And that was like his third warning in that event, and they didn't give him the rep.
Oh.
Eddie crushes him.
Right.
Gets an extra rep, and then he wins that year. And then when you just brought up the deadlift, Eddie got like the 500 kg, and then half Thor smashed it. And then there was a whole beef that like half Thor did it in like a gym setting. Yeah, it was like official and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Eddie did it in competition after lifting a bunch of other things.
Yeah.
I think he had Axel that day too, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong with that. But he pulled it in competition, which was insane.
Yeah.
But so they've been beefing, and then they have their fight.
Well, I don't think the fight. Well, I know Hathor just went on Impulsive, and he said that he doesn't know if the fight's still going to happen.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, because they asked him. They were like, "Is the fight still going? Is it still on?" And he said that he doesn't. I think he said he wasn't sure because Eddie Hall allegedly tore his bicep. And he says allegedly because it might just be for clout or whatever, but he said he was like, he's running scared or something. And I was like, all right, I don't know about that because Eddie Hall is, even though he's like 7 inches shorter, he's insane.
Isn't that crazy? There was 7-inch difference between those two.
But like, there's still like Eddie Hall is like what he did. Like he's just a freak of nature. He's just so compact, but yet he was able to get shredded and you know, go down in weight and everything and still maintain a crap load of muscle, much muscle.
Oh yeah.
And for Hathor too. I mean, he was never. I wouldn't say he was ever fat, but he definitely had a little bit of a gut. But you have to for powerlifting and stuff and strongman. So. He definitely looks insane, and I was excited for the fight. You know, I don't know. I don't honestly think it would have been a great fight, like boxing wise, but it would have been cool to see them just two giant human beings slap each other around for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, even half Thor, if you watch, I'm sure you've seen like his videos like on his Instagram or Facebook. He was moving.
Yeah.
Because I think he was upwards of like 450. I forget his height, but
he's like 6. I want to say 6'9" or 10.
Something like that. Yeah.
Maybe he's only like 6'7".
And he's the shortest out of all of his family.
Yeah.
Which is
insane. He might be like 6'7" or 8, and I think his brother's like 6'11", and then his other brother's like 7'1".
Yeah, I don't know if
they're giant human beings.
Yeah, insane. That's that Viking.
Could you imagine like if he has a sister? I don't know if he does, but like dating his sister, and then you just go to like their family reunion or something, and it's just them. You're like, oh god, like you know, you're just a normal guy, just benching like 225, 250 maybe. And you're like feeling good, and you go there, you're like and they're like, don't touch my sister. Like, all right,
yeah.
I don't even hold her hand.
Yeah,
I don't even do that. But no, get back to Brian Shaw a little bit. So he's a 4-time world's strongest man.
Yes. So
what is the record for that? Is that 6?
So I'm pretty sure he has the most world's strongest man's.
Because I know how many does Eddie Hall have? He has like 3.
No, Eddie Hall has 1.
1. Okay.
He's been on the podium a couple times, but in 2017 was when he won, and that was the whole big controversy, right. Which I did really feel bad for him because a lot of people, you know, like Brian, Robert, like a lot of the guys, they all were like, "Oh, congratulations!" But there was like a lot of controversy between him and Half Thor because like Half Thor was. I also say this with him being able to kick my ass, but he was being a little bit of a baby, which I kind of understand because it is like the biggest event that you can do. But yeah, it was just it was pretty cool how he won, but. He won once, and then Hafler won in I think 2018, and then they both retired. From Strongman. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, because I know I was watching some of the highlights from the World's Strongest Man competitions for the past couple of years, and they have to do a lot, you know, so it's pretty cool. I mean, I know Brian Shaw. I knew him because he was on, I think I saw him. I didn't know it was him at the time, but I remember the World's Strongest Man competition was on ESPN like 10 years ago, and I used to watch those when I was a kid, and I used to like turn them on like Saturday afternoon or like what's Friday after like whatever it was in the summertime, and I would see them doing it, and I'd be like, wow, like they're pulling a fire truck or a
Yep.
18-wheeler or something like that, and then it's like that's insane. Like, how do you do that?
Well, look at like Mark. I don't know how to pronounce the first name. Maurice Pujanowski.
Yeah.
Insane. Well, he was like one of the huge pioneers, because he just couldn't be stopped. He holds the most like strongman titles.
Yes.
But absolutely an insane monster.
Yeah.
But
because I think they were hyping that up the one year when I don't know if it was 2016 or 18 maybe or whatever it was, but I remember it was him and Brian Shaw that were going at it, and I know they were hyping Brian Shaw against somebody else because it was when they were doing the Atlas Stones.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's the same guy you're talking about, but I'm not 100%. I could be wrong obviously, but I know that they were hyping Shaw up against somebody else, and I think that was the year Shaw he lost on that. That was like the last event. He didn't get like the third Atlas Stone up in time. Like he got the third one. Like he went to pick it up and it dropped. And then the other guy like finished before him on like the fifth one or however the
it might have been a Stoltman, either Tom or Luke Stoltman.
It might have been.
But I know Pujanowski, he retired in 2009 from World's Strongest Man. But yeah, no, well,
actually, when did Chuck compete? When did he start competing?
I don't know.
Like 08?
I don't know when he started competing, but I know he was going for number 5 this past couple years.
Because I know he was on and off, right? He won like every other year for a while, right?
Yeah.
I want to say he started early. Like I want to say he was like mid 2000s.
I think so.
Because he was young. I mean, it was when he had hair.
Yeah, he was very young.
Yeah, it's 2005.
Yeah. October 2005.
Perfect.
That's when he entered into his formal training.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's absolutely insane. You know, I know all of us have all his like equipment when we lift.
Yeah.
Evolution Athletics.
You know, I know we were talking about it a little bit, but his equipment's, you know, I'm pretty sure for the price, it's probably some of the best you can find.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people love like SBD. You know, no hate, they're really good. You know, I've used them. I just prefer Brian's just because I feel like I get a lot more stability when I lift.
Yeah. I definitely have to get some more equipment. I know I got some wrist wraps from Cody. So pretty cool. But I also you know, I want some more stuff, so I want to get a belt, I think. Even though I don't really need one because I don't deadlift, but
best thing he ever put out there.
That's the thing too, is like when like looking for stuff to get, I don't really know because I have wrist wraps now, right? I have knee braces, even though it's not like knee like the wraps for your elbow, like your knees or like your elbows or whatever.
Yeah,
I could get those. I just need like more. I think I just need more gym clothes. Like I want to go and just get just go get some more like oversized t-shirts and some baggy pants, some sweatpants, like some corduroy jeans, and
smash a 500-pound bench.
Yeah, I'll roll up in some flip flops.
People do like. There's one guy like Adam. He just rolls in flip flops. Like
really?
Rick walks around barefoot sometimes.
Well, I know. Well, I guess flip flops really wouldn't be the worst thing because I know you're supposed to like deadlift with flat shoes or
I don't even wear shoes anymore.
Socks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't deadlift, so although I do kind of want to try to deadlift, I'm not technically allowed to. So
that is true.
But no, it's fine. But yeah, is there anything else going on like in the strongman community?
Nothing really is that crazy. I mean, the lifting community is kind of going nuts now. Like they had a big event over in the Lions Den in Colmar, but that's just like a small amateur event. Mm-hmm. Really good guys over there. Shout out to Zat Mary. But nothing. Everything's kind of low key right now. I know they're gonna be working up to stuff, but other than like tomorrow, like that's just absolutely insane. You know, 636 pounds for the world record of the women's is just absolutely insane.
Because you would kind of expect like somebody like Eddie Hall or Hafthor to pick up that much, like over 1,000 pounds, and you would kind of think like a lot of people would think like, oh, for women it might be what, like 400, 300. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I mean, you know, you're not gonna see a 450 pound 6'8" woman usually, you know, just every day going up and doing that. So it's cool like that she was able to do that and pick up over 600. You know, that's insane. She outbenches me by a lot.
Yeah, 300 at 363.
Yeah, so that's, you know, she that's over 100 pounds. It's like 140 pounds more than me. So I mean, and hey, you know what? I'm totally fine in saying that because she obviously puts everything into what she wants to to do for lifting, and you know what I mean, like I love that.
And from what I heard, she's like super sweet, super nice.
Well, yeah, I mean, I hope so. I hope like a lot of a lot of the times I find out is a lot of the dudes, like even in our gym, a lot of the guys that like you would look at and you're like, oh, that's like a just look out for like for that guy. But then you're like, hey, how's it going? He's like, hey, just some random.
What's going on? Yeah,
like just massive human beings, and it was fun. It's funny because like. You go into a gym and I know our gym in particular had a little bit of the the gym intimidation thing happen.
Well, yeah, because we're a big powerlifting and strongman gym.
So it was like even when I first started, I wouldn't say I was intimidated, but I definitely was aware of where I was.
Sure.
Because like you go to like a Planet Fitness or LA Fitness or something, and not that you can't get constructive workouts in. But when you go there, a lot of the time, when you're someone like us, who's a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger than I would say the average individual.
Sure.
You go there and you kind of feel good because you're like, oh, well, you're working out alongside of girls doing cardio only and old guys, lifting a couple pounds, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you go to Planet Fitness or LA Fitness, there's nothing wrong with that.
Facts.
But there is a difference in different kinds of gyms. You know what I mean? You can't. Not every gym is the same. You can't go down the street and go, oh, well, I work out at Gold's Gym. And now I'm going to go and work out at Planet Fitness. It's not the same.
It's not the same.
But no, I do enjoy like going to our gym. I mean, it's what kept me in the swing of things. Going with everybody and getting those gains.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of fun. But we're definitely having a lot of fun with that, and just kind of banging out some weight, and then the whole community's having some wins. But
well, I know you said Kevin was doing the winter wreckage in January, right?
Yeah.
Are you doing that?
Oh yeah. Well, a lot of us are. I know. I am. Kevin is, and then
Right.
a bunch of like our strongman team.
Right.
They're gonna do it. It's a big event. It's the Lions Den in Colmar. Like I said, shout out to Zach Mary. But yeah, no, it's definitely a lot of fun.
Are you ready for it?
I mean, well, right now I have a bulge disc that we pulled a
I
couple
know
weeks.
that. Yeah, you kind of hurt yourself a little bit, but I mean,
mean,
I'm saying like when you get back into the swing of things, do you think it'll be good?
Yeah, my pressing's there. We only have to do a 300-pound log. It's only 700 pounds for the 16-inch deadlift, so that's one of the events. It's for reps, so that shouldn't be that bad.
So what would you say so I know Kevin just started.
Yeah.
Right. He started a little over a month ago. Right.
Yeah.
We're on week 6, right?
Yeah.
And he's already, in a couple months, he's going to be going to his first meet or his
Yeah.
comp, right?
Yeah.
So what would you say, like, because I know you joke about it with me, like, oh, like it's getting into the swing of things and like let's do strongman together and stuff. But like, what would you say if like somebody was just like, hey, like I might want to do this? Where would you start?
Just like honestly, the internet's a great place. Just kind of look into some like workouts that don't do anything crazy. Like I know our gym, like shout out to Jim Smith and Amy Smith at the gym in Tan Line Studio. Like just find a really good gym that you guys can just settle in. Don't be intimidated and just have fun. Because other than that, it's a great environment. And like I know like you played baseball for how many years?
Mm-hmm.
I played football, I wrestled, like all these different sports, and like the people that you compete against, they're in your face or whatever it is. But like when I competed there in February of this year, I was after that one lift, I was gonna be in second place, and the guy in first was screaming in my face to beat him.
Yeah.
And I always mention that, but like, yeah.
Well, it's funny too, because like I played baseball for a few years, and when I was younger, obviously, but there's definitely that when I first started, there was that thing of like I didn't feel comfortable on the field. Like when I first started, like I knew I was decent, and I knew that I was good to go, but it was just one of those things where it's like you get on the field and you're just like, even though you practice so long and so hard and everything, you just don't, you know what I mean? Like you're just not comfortable your first few games.
100%, yeah.
But then by the time I got to my second year, or I would say even at the end of the first year, I was comfortable. I was ready to go. I was loose. I was loose on the field. I was warmed up. I was excited. I wasn't nervous anymore. I wasn't nervous about striking out or making an error, because that's just playing the game. Because I feel like if you do anything, you play baseball, football, wrestle, martial arts, weightlifting, whatever you do, if you're not comfortable doing it, you shouldn't do it, especially with weightlifting. Like if you get under a bar or you go and go to pick up something you're not 100% confident you can at least pick up or try to pick up, then you know what I mean, you're going to hurt yourself.
100%.
But no, that's why I do give a lot of props to Kev on that, because it's daunting, man. Like it's scary going to a new, especially when you haven't lifted in a long time, or you're not an avid lifter, coming in, getting with some of your best buds and trying to just
going after
it. You know,
we're coming on like Sundays with like at our strongman class and
yeah.
just
yeah. I mean, if you know what you want to do, you know, go and do it. You know, and I think that's what he's kind of doing. So yeah, I'm excited to see where he's growing. You know, where he's going to go. But yeah, I'm excited too. I'm excited to see where I'm going to end up in a few months because by the time
315 bench, let's get. Oh yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
Take the COVID vaccine 3 times a week for the next 6 months.
Yeah, we'll take the COVID vaccine real quick. There's this guy in the bathroom. He was
just offering the COVID
offered
vaccine.
me the
Oh,
COVID
cool.
vaccine,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's it called? SAR?
I did really good on my test.
Oh, nice. Yeah. But I mean, listen, like those are some big wins, you know, in the lifting community, and especially I guess like for our group and like our strongman team. But let's talk about some losses this past weekend with the NFL, man.
Let's just not actually. Let's not actually.
Rough time to be a Phillies.
A Philly fan?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's been a rough time to be a Philly fan in general, not just in NFL. But no, the Eagles definitely didn't look too good against Dallas. But I will say this: I am a diehard Eagles fan. I bleed green. So it was hard for me to watch that game. But I will say that as much as I hate the Dallas Cowboys, the Eagles didn't play well, and the Cowboys are looking pretty good. They have a great defense this season so far. I mean, game one they took the game one of the season they took the Buccaneers, you know, to the last few plays.
Yeah.
So it was just one of those things where, you know, it's really exciting to see. What I'm not excited to think about though is the Eagles' upcoming games.
We just had our first 3 games were like the quote unquote the easiest ones.
Yeah, it's not going to be good. We have to play some tough teams coming up. So I'm not excited to be watching those games.
Yeah, we have the Chiefs.
We have the Chiefs next week, and then I think we play like the Raiders, and then the Panthers, or vice versa, whatever it is.
Yep, Panthers. Yeah,
and you know these are good teams. But what is interesting is we obviously were watching a lot of the games on Sunday. But I was really impressed with how what the 49ers have been able to do this season, because coming off of last year they weren't that good, and I mean I know they didn't, like, of course they beat us, or we might have won that game, but they looked good against us. But no, they look good this season with Garoppolo back.
Yeah.
And so I think that they might be a contender. I'm not saying they're going to go to the playoffs and or the Super Bowl or anything so far, but they took Aaron Rodgers and the Packers to the literal last seconds of the game.
Yeah, what was it, 30-28?
Yeah, they had so it was funny. So there's a running joke on like Twitter and like Instagram and stuff where, so it started back in 2016, right? The Packers played the Dallas Cowboys in the divisional round of the playoffs. Okay. Dak Prescott and all, they ran down the field, they scored a touchdown. They were up by 2 points. And then they left 1:36 on the clock for Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, and that was the whole joke.
And that was a joke where the guy takes a picture and he's like surrounded by Dallas fans because they're in Dallas.
Yeah, because they're celebrating.
And he's wearing a Green Bay jersey. And he's like, they're celebrating with 1:36 left, LOL. And then what happens? He marches down the field. He has a crazy bootleg or broken play, whatever it was, to the left side, and off of his back foot launches a 30-yard dot to, I think it was Randall Cobb, to catch that pass inbounds. And it's just like, how do you do? You just and then they win they win the game on a field goal, and it's like, all right, you know what I mean? But no, this past week, has been pretty interesting. I would say it was really interesting for just the game in general, because you got guys like Justin Tucker.
Oh, 66-yard
field goal. That's insane. I remember when Matt Prater did that in, I want to say, 2013. I watched that game.
That was 63 yards?
63, I think, or 62, whatever it was. But he played for the Broncos, and that was that year, and he just straight kicked, 63-yard field goal, and didn't even look hard. Like, it wasn't like it just skate. Like Justin's, it was 66, and it bounced off the crossbar and went in.
Yeah.
But Matt Prater didn't look that bad. He didn't look. He looked like he had a little bit more power. Obviously,
sure,
it was a bit of a closer field goal. But when you get past 60 yards, I think
that's still insane. I mean, a 3-yard difference. Yes, it's a lot, but I guess in the great scheme of things, maybe not as much.
it's hard because I remember when I was a kid, I thought like a
9 feet.
50-yard field goal was a lot.
Yeah.
And I know like 55 and 58, and it was like crazy numbers. And now we're in 66. And I was talking to one of my friends about this the other day, Javen, and I really think that by the end of the next couple, maybe the next decade, we're gonna be seeing some like 70, maybe even 73 or 5-yard field goals coming up. Because what's the old adage, right? The younger generation's always better than the previous, right?
Yeah.
The next generation's going to keep building. So why wouldn't we have a kid coming out of it's probably going to be coming out of like USC or something, or Oregon, and he's just going to be like, yeah, just boot 75-yard field goals. I'm like, what? Because I know, like, you look at just stats in general. I mean, it's kind of crazy when you really think about it. Like, I remember when throwing 4 touchdowns or 5 touchdowns in a game was like crazy.
Yeah.
It still is crazy. But then you got guys like Peyton Manning and Nick Foles and those guys who were throwing 7.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It never stops. It's one of those things where like we even like looked at it when we were like, I know this is back in high school. Mm-hmm. But it was just like we just watch all these records get broken by these high school kids, like either in lifting or even in the NFL. Like you would just see passing yards. Yep. You would see TDs in a game, or even I guess penalties. I mean, I don't know how many. We had 14 or 15 penalties in the Eagles.
I think the record is 20 something in the game. I think don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure it was from the Browns. I'm not 100% sure, but I know it was like 22 or something in a game, and it was just ridiculous. And that's the thing, we almost came close to that. So hey, we got something. We're breaking records, baby.
I couldn't believe just because if I'm sure people have watched the game, I was sitting there watching it, and it wasn't a bad game in the first like 5 minutes. Our defense was shutting everything down. Offense was 3 and out a lot, but
yeah.
We don't want to get into that just yet. But
we also lost a lot of guys on Sunday.
Oh yeah.
We lost a lot. We had lost 3/5 of our offensive line.
Nice.
And we lost 2 in that game particularly. We already had Brandon Graham out. I think he's out for the season with Achilles. With Achilles surgery. But we lost Fletcher Cox to cramping for a while there, and then it's just like it felt like the Eagles can't win, dude. Like,
well, I was confused when he was down at first because I was like, I didn't see him get hurt, and then like they were like, I was cramping, whatever it was, because he walked off, and I was like, oh, that doesn't.
And we lost Sayamalu. I think it was Sayamalu that we lost to a knee injury that game.
Yeah.
Offense.
Is there any confirmation of like what was happening?
No, at least I didn't see it. What it looked like what happened was they quoted it as a foot injury, but it looked like he was grabbing his knee. So I don't know what could be happening there, but I hope it's nothing serious. Like, I hope it's just like he twisted it or something. Like, I hope it's not like another Brandon Graham injury, because I love Jalen Hurts. I think he's he has a lot to improve on for sure. He's not at the place where he should be yet, but it's his second year.
Well, the fans love him. I mean, that's big.
The fans do love him. But it's hard for being an Eagles fan for so long, because like everyone liked Wentz for a while. And
Pennsylvania, baby.
Now it's like nobody wants to speak his name. Everyone loved McNabb, but then everyone hated him because he went to the Redskins.
Yeah.
Everyone hated Vic at first, but then they loved him, and then he went to the Steelers.
Well, he also,
or to the Jets, and it's like what do you do? Like, if you're an Eagles fan, I don't know how you buy a jersey.
Yeah, I mean, and to be fair, we do have like a very prolific amount of what's the word I'm looking for? I guess like just fans in general. Like, they are, I guess they're
smash mouth.
Oh yeah.
Like, you go to an Eagles game, and that's the thing. That's what a lot of people hate about playing Philly or playing for Philly, is that if you don't do good, our fans aren't going to be like we're not going to sit there and be like, oh, we'll get them next time. We're like, screw you, bro. You missed that play. Are you kidding me? I'm paying $120 a ticket for this game, and you can't complete a pass.
Well, you were saying like even the announcers hate us.
Oh, they now. Oh my god, dude! Ready? If you ever watch like an old school, like an older, like 2004 football game with like Joe Buck, he doesn't care. He'll be like he'll be commentating for the Patriots, and he'll be like, oh, Tom Brady just completes this pass, and it's the hardest pass ever thrown, and you look at his skill, and then it's like a mediocre pass, and then you look at us, and we have like a 99-yard run, and like one of his famous quotes is, Ronnie, I think his name is Ronnie Mitchell, has this crazy long run, and he's like, and the entire only thing he says is this: the ball gets snapped, Mitchell has the ball, and you just hear Mitchell. Mitchell. And this guy's sprinting up the field like 80 yards. He's like,
Oh,
Mitchell.
That's all he was saying.
Mitchell. Touchdown. And that's all he said. And it's like, and then you look at like when the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
No.
You look at like guys like that where it's like Chris Collinsworth is like, you could just hear it in his voice, whereas he's just not happy. Because like he'll be like, he was talking, and I think he was like, there was like a big touchdown for the Eagles, and he's like, Eagles touchdown. Like he's like, or like the like Al Michaels was like, Eagles score a touchdown, and then Chris Collinsworth is like, Eagles score a touchdown. You know what I mean?
Sorry, they can hate us.
I like the hate.
The underdogs.
Well, that's actually where the origin came from. You remember on the year that we won the Super Bowl with the dog masks?
Yes.
We were think about this. We were the number 1 seed in the NFC. Okay?
Okay.
That's all parts of the NFC. So we're the number 1 seed in the playoffs, and we were I think like a 20-point underdog we were like a 10-point underdog against the Falcons, and then we were like a 20-point underdog against the Vikings, and then we were I think like a 25-point underdog against the Patriots, and
yeah,
we
get wrecked.
We balled out.
Yeah,
dude.
get wrecked, Brady.
You
got nothing on us.
Okay, and honestly, even though we won the Super Bowl, and we won the Super Bowl, we have the highest honors of that year. We can't. Tom Brady breaks a record of throwing his passing yards in a Super Bowl.
Shh! Don't give him that satisfaction.
He's got 7 rings, bro. Like, let us get 1.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
It is kind of cool though, like that he just really is an insane athlete. Because you were telling me he was in like the 100th round pick. Was that what it was?
I think it was like 144.
140. Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was low. Well, he was coming out of Michigan, and he really wasn't that spectacular at Michigan. He didn't look that good. Like he looked good, but not anything crazy. He ran like a 6'2", 40. He didn't have muscle. Didn't look particularly good.
Like my 40 in high school was bad. Oh my gosh.
There's like a picture of him like with no shirt on, like in the pre-combine, and he's just lanky and nothing.
Well, there was a picture of him and his wife. They're on the beach, and like the caption was like, it was like, "This is the man that's been running the NFL."
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it's funny, dude, because like Tom Brady haters will say, "Oh, all his wide receivers and field goal and kickers won all his championships." My thing is, I don't like Tom Brady. Like, I don't like him. But you got to respect his game. You got to respect his accomplishments. The reason I don't like him is not because he's that good of a player, like he's a winner. It's because of all like his scandals and how he's a sore loser.
Like
you know
the
what I mean?
flake game.
Like, dude, he didn't shake in the Super Bowl. He didn't shake Nick Foles' hand. He ran off the
I didn't
field.
know that.
Yeah, he didn't shake Nick Foles' hand. And then the 2 years later, he didn't shake his hand again when Nick Foles beat him on the Bears.
Somebody's angry.
That's what I'm saying. And you know, it's just one of those things where you can talk about Tom Brady's accomplishments all day. I think he just passed the most. He has the all-time leader now in passing yards, and with 80-something thousand.
Of course he does.
He just passed Peyton Manning, but because also too he has he's played for 21 years now,
something like that. Yeah.
And Peyton Manning had to take a hiatus for like 4 years because of his neck.
Yeah.
Or no.
And he's just catching
3 years. Yeah, 3 or 4 years. He broke his neck. So who knows what would have happened with that? You know, if Peyton Manning would have been the same player, would have been a better player.
And he came back too. And a lot of people, like, you know, you and I were talking about that earlier today. People don't really come back from that.
No.
And
he didn't just get hurt. He broke his neck. Like, he has titanium. They were talking about it. He has like titanium from his like underneath his jaw all the way to like the middle of his back. It's just like titanium rods and stuff, like
even
to keep his neck
people
together.
Barely come back from that. Like if you look on like the lifting community, like torn biceps or like hamstrings or whatever it is, like try to come back from a lot of those injuries, and to break your neck and then just show up and just murder.
Not even play well. He broke records.
Yeah.
He took over. He beat for a while there. It was kind of cool, the dichotomy of Breeze, Brady, and Peyton Manning, because you had them all at like 1, 2, and 3, and then they were all switching per game, like who's the number one, who's number one with like passing yards and touchdowns and stuff. But yeah, no, Tom Brady, man, like him and Peyton Manning's rivalry when Peyton Manning was on the Colts and Tom Brady was on the Patriots, that was some of the best football you'll ever watch. I mean, obviously Tom Brady will beat him a little bit more than Peyton beat him, but the games were insane. And then even when Peyton went to the Broncos, the games were nuts. You know, like you just shootouts the entire time.
And that's what kind of makes like NFL like a lot of fun, which people get frustrated now, is like, oh, these games aren't as great, but like, well, recently they have been, but people like to watch a good game.
Well, I'm a little bit nervous coming up here because like we're gonna have some good games, but a lot of these good games right now are from veterans. You know what I mean? Like you see that like I wouldn't consider Dak Prescott yet to be quite a veteran. He's only like his 5th year, but he's getting up there. So is Ezekiel Elliott. You know, and you got guys like that, but you look at somebody like Trevor Lawrence, the number 1 overall draft pick.
Oh yeah,
he is not playing well. He's made some flashy throws, he's made some good throws, but he hasn't played well. He hasn't played up to the number 1 draft pick.
Well, potential. Yeah, he what was that said? It was he lost his first in-season game like ever.
Yeah, he has up until week 1 of this season. He had never lost a regular season game in his life, going from Pee Wee football all the way through college. And, well, first game in the NFL.
Welcome to the big leagues.
Well, that's the thing they were saying was they're nervous for Trevor because he hasn't really had to overcome anything. He hasn't had to overcome loss. He hasn't had to overcome anything crazy, any crazy injuries. So being thrust into the NFL where you got guys who are insanely fat. Like you look at college football, right? Like I know you played in high school, and there was definitely some guys on the field that you just knew were like, oh, they're just a little bit better. They're just a little bit different.
Yeah, that's gonna happen anywhere.
A little bit stronger, a little bit whatever. Now take that and put it into college, where those guys who were leagues beyond in high school
cream of the crop
are now mid-tier, if that, in college, and then take the top college players. And a lot of them go to the NFL and they don't even make the combine. Like they don't even make it.
Yeah, and it's staggering. Even if you just count like D1, D2, and D3, right?
Yeah.
It's the percentage of people that just play in college. I'm not even talking like NFL or like pros, and that's across the board for football, wrestling, track, swimming, tennis, whatever it is. The percentage of people that just continue with their sport outside of high school, outside of like Pee Wee football or whatever it is, it's like I wonder what I forget the statistics. I'll have to look it up, but it's like staggeringly like small.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, imagine if like you have like you live on a street, right, and you have 10 houses, and all of them have boys, let's say, or whatever, and they all play football, and you're telling me the probability of any of you going to the NFL or even making D1 college, I would have to say has got to be less than like 1%.
Yeah, so it's overall just like 7% of high school athletes, which is like 1 in 13, go to play varsity sport in college, and then and less than 2% of high school athletes, 1 in 57, go to play in the NCAA Division I schools.
And then you look at it, and then you watch like college football games, and you have like Alabama, who's always good, and then you have
never heard of them.
No, okay, well they're all right. And then they'll play like UCF or something, and they'll blow them out like 60-0.
Well, didn't they just win the other week? It was like 62-0 or some of that. What was it?
Well, that was Georgia.
Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia beat. Who did they beat? I forget who they beat, but they won 62-0, and it was like, dude,
Georgia,
what are we doing? But no, yeah. So getting back to this past week of football, I mean, what I'm kind of excited for, what I was excited for was seeing some of the games, like, I was excited for the Browns-Bears because they named Justin Fields as their starter for that game.
Yes, yeah.
And, well, that didn't go well. He not only played poorly, but he didn't get 100 yards of passing. He did get 6 completions.
Didn't he net like one or negative
1 yard?
Yeah.
He threw the ball 20 times and he completed 6 passes.
Yeah.
In 4 total quarters. It wasn't like he came in like the third.
Yeah.
He played from the first quarter through the fourth, and he only had. Now, okay, you can blame it on the wide receivers or the scheme or the offensive line because he got sacked like 9 times, but then you look at the other side. Look at Baker Mayfield, got sacked like 6 times.
Yeah.
So their defenses were kind of playing all right, but the problem was Justin Fields. He really showed his age. I think his not like because
what is he now?
Well, I mean, he's a rookie, so I think he's like 22, 23.
Oh,
But
I thought it was young. Okay, yeah.
no, I mean, dude, he got his, this is his chance. Like, this was his like breakout game, and he didn't do anything. Not only did he not play well, like, or not only did he not win the game, but he didn't look good at all. Like, if I'm like, it was crazy about that was this: they drafted Justin, and all the Bears fans and all like the commentators and analysts were like, "Oh, Justin Fields is going to be the starter. He's probably going to excel," and everyone was excited.
He was the starter.
Well, yeah, but then the Bears go, "Oh, well, we signed Andy Dalton, and we're going to start him." Then he gets hurt, right? Andy Dalton gets hurt. It's like, okay, so what do we do now? Okay, well, we'll go and start Justin Fields. Well, now Justin Fields is a little banged up. I think he hurt himself doing something. I forget what part of himself. I think he like hurt his knee or something. But anyway, regardless, now it's a 3-way competition and going through into week 4 between Andy Dalton, Justin Fields, and Nick Foles of who's going to be the starting quarterback in week 4.
Nick Foles,
baby. Dude, Nick Foles is washed, bro.
I know.
If Nick Foles will start in like week 9, and he'll come out and he'll be like 500 yards passing, 6 touchdowns, 1 game, like beats the Bucks. And he's like, yeah, like, you know. But no, I think the rookie class of this year has to really kind of get their stuff together here, because you look at somebody like Joe Burrow, who was a rookie last year, plays for the Bengals, right?
Yeah.
Dude is a certified stud. Now, obviously, he plays on the Bengals, and obviously, he isn't going to be he's not going to, you know what I mean? He's not going to have the best schedule all the time. And obviously, he doesn't have the best pieces around him. But with all that being said, dude has still performed really well.
I mean, they beat the Steelers, 24-10?
Yeah. Well,
So
the Steelers look awful. So, but even in that, the Joe Burrow played well. You know, he obviously like a lot of times people look at like throwing interceptions as like you throw one a game and they're like, oh my god, what are you doing?
Well, even like Jalen Hurts got kind of he got crap for that. He got sort of crap for it because I forget who it was. One of our receivers just flat out just tripped.
Oh yeah, that was Devontae Smith fell down.
Smith, yeah. Oh, that was rough.
So but even if he didn't fall down, it wouldn't have been a completion anyway.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't have been a pick six. So it definitely was. I would definitely say he definitely like Jalen Hurts is right now. I feel like he's being handcuffed by by Nick Sirianni. I just feel like he's being handcuffed a little bit with like that scheme. Nick Sirianni really shouldn't be a head coach. I don't think.
You don't think he's great?
I don't. I think he could be a really good like coordinator, whether it be offense or defense.
Sure.
But,
and a lot of the times that does happen, especially with coaches. Like they do get that head coach position, or like they'll be the head of like offense, wherever it is. Maybe they shouldn't be there, and that happens a lot though. And in kind of any sport though, that does happen a lot. They maybe either are taking too much on, they're under a lot of pressure.
Well, he's also young too. He's only like 30 something, so he's not. Like I'm not saying he's bad. I wish I need him to get through his growing pains fast. Like I can't see the Eagles go 1-7 this year to start the season.
Hurts so bad.
I just can't do it. You know what I mean?
The memes would be great though.
But no. So what's going to be interesting is obviously the future of the NFL is like Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow, Pat Mahomes, Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts. And these guys, and like on the Packers, Jordan Love is behind Aaron Rodgers right now.
I forgot about him.
Yeah. But I'm excited for this season to see how I don't even like. Obviously, I want the Eagles to play well, right?
Yeah.
I want the Eagles do well. What I don't really want to see though is. Well, obviously, I don't want to see the Cowboys do well, but I don't want to see the rookies or like the younger players not play well. I don't want to see that. I want to have confidence that like I can watch Browns Cardinals game and it'd be electric because
then it's a good game to watch, especially if you're with people as well too.
Well, yeah.
Kind of enjoy the game of football.
But it's just one of the reasons why I kind of stepped away from baseball for a little bit and like from sports in general for a year or two was because I got tired of seeing the same teams win. Like when it was 4 years in a row when the Cavaliers and the Warriors went to the NBA Finals. I didn't care. You know what I mean? Like 26, like when LeBron made that 3-1 comeback. Yeah, it was crazy. It was incredible. I watched Game 7. Did I watch the next NBA Finals? Like first game, Did I watch the next NBA Finals? No. Did I watch the next NBA Finals? No. You know what I mean? And then it's just like, did I watch the Warriors play the Raptors the next year in 2019? No. Did I watch, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't care about this past finals. And, like, yeah, you got the Suns and the Bucks play in this past finals. But, like, I think the damage was already done for me a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? The Sixers kind of, once the Sixers went out, I was like, all right, well, I don't care anymore. But that's how I'm feeling about football right now is I'm so tired of seeing Tom Brady in the playoffs. And I'm so tired of seeing the Washington Redskins suck or the Texans suck. And not the thing, like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's so true.
And it's one of the
so
things,
sad.
too,
yeah.
is I'm really happy to see Matthew Stafford on the Rams. Obviously, I'm not a Rams fan, but I'm a big Matthew Stafford fan just because I've been arguing with people for years. And they're like, Matthew Stafford needs to retire. He's not good. He sucks. I'm like, Matthew Stafford is
he had 343 yards just in the last game, and they beat
the Bucks.
Yeah, 34-24.
He had nobody in Detroit. The only person that he had in Detroit that could do anything for him was Calvin Johnson, aka Megatron, who retired in like 2015. He had no one, and he was dying there. He played there for like 12 years, and he just died out there.
It was 12 years?
I don't know. It was something like that. He played there for a long time. But now he goes to the Rams, and everyone that was saying he's washed. Look at him now.
Yeah, 27. What was it? Complete passes.
Yeah, 27 to 38, 343 with 4 touchdowns, no picks. You know, his team's playing well around him. They're 3-0. They just took down Tom Brady. On primetime television.
The Patriots next week.
They're
gonna be hurt.
Oh, dude, the Patriots. Started. But that's another thing. They have their rookie quarterback in Mac Jones coming out of Alabama.
Yeah,
dude doesn't look great. He just doesn't.
Now, okay, do you think that it's just the level of? All right, there could be a couple factors. Okay. Do you think it's a level of the fact that they're now in like a huge stage? The NFL has a lot of pressure. Do you think that the level of like players that they're playing against is?
Well, I think it's a lot of things. I mean, if you look at somebody like Trevor Lawrence, I think the reason why he's struggling is, one, he plays on a really bad team, and number two, he's never had that level of play. He's you know what I mean? Like, obviously I don't expect rookies to come in and dominate the league, but
I mean, Saquon's pretty good.
Well, that's true. But that's Saquon Barkley. But no, like, you know what I mean? Like, Trevor Lawrence never had to face adversity in really any way.
That's true.
And coming out of college, and you know I think another big factor is how much pressure is put on outside of the game, like by the commentators, the analysts, the fans.
Oh, absolutely.
Because the college players coming out of let's say he goes number 1 overall, right? He's going into that team knowing that everybody in that building coming to watch him play is coming to watch him play so that their team can be better.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times that's just simply not the case.
You think so?
Okay. I do think that it's not the case, and I'll tell you why. You have all this competition in college, right?
Sure, yeah.
All this competition.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone's kind of playing the same. But, like, once again, you have your really good players and your really bad players, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of elevation, though.
Right.
Yeah.
The best players, I would say, the best players out of that college football, like that team or whatever,
sure,
they'll go to the combine.
Yeah,
maybe, and maybe they'll place well. They'll do well, and maybe they'll get drafted, and maybe they won't. So if you're Trevor Lawrence, who's been in the spotlight since he was in high school, right, coming into the NFL draft, going to the Jaguars, everyone in the Jaguars organization is like, "Yo, you're gonna win. You're gonna be a star."
Yeah,
and he hasn't been a star yet.
No,
it's like. Now you're looking.
That does happen though with like first round picks though.
Well, yeah,
because obviously they're going to a team that's already had they're rebuilding. Or I mean, like look at the Browns; they've been trying to rebuild for years now, and obviously they're coming up, but that does take how many years of the team being rough or getting that first round pick or the second round pick, whatever it is, and now they're picking up good people.
Yeah.
But yet they don't have weapons, or they may not have like a great line or coming into their backfield and like defense with like linebackers, whatever it is.
Right.
And they're just rebuilding. So like, who knows? Maybe in the next 2, 3, 4 years, they start building up their team.
But you can't wait that long as an organization. Like if you're the Jaguars, right? You cannot sit there and hold Trevor Lawrence for 4 years and then hope he blossoms into something. Because if you look at somebody like you look at like a Joe Burrow, right? Team wasn't good last season. Their team is doing well this season, but are they going to be a contender? Who knows? But that's 1 year of growth, and in that first year for him as a rookie, same thing that Trevor Lawrence is doing. It's Justin Fields, Mac Jones, same thing that they're in right now. He was in last year, and they went like 3-11 or something like that, and like 3-13-1 or something, but he balled out. He did everything he could, and he looked really good. That's why the Bengals didn't try to draft a quarterback. That's why they didn't try to, you know what I mean? They tried to draft him weapons to help him and help the team, because they know, okay, at least we have a good quarterback. Let's build around him. The problem with I hope not, but like a Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence is if they don't play well in their first season, then the ownership of their organization is going to look at that and go, well, we just wasted a number 1 draft pick.
Yeah.
So let's say
cap space and
right.
Yeah.
So let's just say the Jaguars go, 3-14.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think Trevor Lawrence is just going to be automatically the starter next season, or do you think they're going to look at the draft like, okay, if they go 3, let's say through the first 10 games, they go 0-10 or 1-9. Ownership's probably going to be like, all right, cool. Well, guess what we're going to do? If Trevor Lawrence hasn't played well or has played bad, they're going to tank the rest of the season. They're going to go in the draft and they're going to try to pick up another quarterback. That's what's going to happen, because you can't look at it like, okay, he played bad, but he's just a rookie.
Yeah.
That's not what they're paid for. You can't look at it that way.
That's very true. I mean, it is a multi-billion-dollar organization.
I mean, you can cut them some slack, and you can say, okay, it's your rookie season. You didn't play well, but a lot of the times, but then you look at somebody like Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, their rookie seasons, they popped off. You know what I mean?
Popped off.
So what makes them any different from a quarterback today? What makes, you know what I mean, somebody like that different, like a Dak Prescott different than a Mac Jones or a Trevor Lawrence?
Now, but do you think that could like hinder somebody? You know, like obviously, you know, it's his first, you know, season coming in here. Maybe it doesn't pop off, whatever it is.
Right.
Now, do you think that could, like, because obviously that could change, but do you think that pressure alone could hinder him a lot? Like, yeah,
I would say so. Well, I mean, imagine this, right? You've been lifting weights for a while now, right?
Sure.
And you're pretty strong.
I would think so.
Right? Now imagine if we said, all right, Matt, you're pretty strong. You can lift a lot of weight, right? So you're not going to do winter wreckage this year. You're going to go to nationals, and you're going to you're going to be on the main. You're going to be on NBC, and you're going to be representing Jim and Tanline Studio and all of us. You're going to be going up against, you know, the greatest competition that the state has to offer, and it's going to be aired on NBC.
Bring it.
And then, you know what I mean? You're going to go up there, and you're going to be like, all right, do a log press. You're like, oh my god, how do I do that again? What am I doing?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, and I feel like that has like a lot to do with like their mental health. Because like that would affect me and anybody, which you know, your Dak Prescott or even like your Saquon kind of coming in and being these big stars. I feel like just being like in a quarterback setting, especially like Trevor Lawrence, because like you said, he's had no adversity, which. You always hear, overcome adversity. Yeah. What are you going to do to overcome this adversity? But when you're not overcoming it, and now he has so much outside stressors, which is one of the things that like I always like look into, and I'm like, oh man, I really hope he does well or whatever it is, because like
it's exciting to watch when a rookie is beating a veteran. Like, imagine if Trevor Lawrence was balling out. They were 3-0, and he beat like Tom Brady or he beat somebody like that. You know, like you're like, oh my god, this guy really has it. But you know, it's just not the case. But no, I think for the most part, the NFL is in good hands. I think it's only week 3. We're going into week 4.
It's exciting again.
Yeah, I don't think you can really say. I don't think you can look at any specific team except for the Jets and like the Texans.
What are you talking about? They're doing fantastic.
No,
what do you mean?
No,
come on.
No, Zach Wilson. Talk about sucking as a draft pick, dude. He was like what, like 6 overall, and
Yeah.
dude's bad. Dude's terrible. He's small too. I think he's only like 6 foot, I think, and he's not fast.
I love we consider that small.
He doesn't have a good arm. It's not that good. Like he has terrible decision making. And now, of course, I'm sitting here saying that as a overweight, college dropout. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna.
Sticking to him.
Like, he sucks.
Because we're the smartest people around.
Dude. Like he's in the NFL and he sucks. But I couldn't do any better. I'd do worse.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, so would I. But it's still funny to shit on him.
I can't throw the ball like 50 yards.
That's a lie. Yes, you can.
No, I can't.
That's a lie. I definitely can.
I'd say I can get myself like 35, 40, maybe on a good day.
Oh, my arm hurting. I was a center. And now I'm a competitive strongman. Yeah, you think my arm can get that way?
You don't have mobility in that rotator cuff. You just push the ball. You push it like you're bench pressing.
I'll shot put it. I'll hit up my physics teacher. Hey, Miss B, listen, I gotta throw a football.
Shot put. You snap the ball. You just start spinning. You're just like, what are you doing? You're like,
15 yards. Oh my bad, bro. That popcorn was really buttery.
Get picked off. Like what? But like, oh my god, could you imagine? But like, dude. I was thinking like I wanted to go to the MLB when I was younger. I'm like, I'm gonna be in the MLB.
Every kid wanted to do that.
I'm gonna be good. And I mean, I was pretty good at baseball, but I'm not.
We always had those kids that were like, dude, I'm going to the league, bro.
Yeah, dude.
This is my way out.
I'm not even studying because I'm going to the league, bro.
No, but you live in suburbia, John. You're not getting out of it.
You're playing kids that are on the other team because their parents force them to play the game.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But once again, you always have those kids that like are kind of like the outliers. You like when you're an athlete, or even if you're like a pro gamer or something. Whenever you're doing something that you can make money with, or it's like an organized sport in some way, you will always see really bad people, decent, good, really good, and then the next step up.
Yeah.
You will always see when you can be the best person in the state at whatever. You go into a national competition for the country, and you're going to see some stuff that you've never seen. You're going to be like, oh my God. You know what I mean? Like, I can hit a ball in baseball. I can hit a ball 425 feet for a home run. And then you're looking at guys coming in from, let's say, like the Dominican Republic or something like that, or just, somebody outside your state, and they're hitting balls like 505. You're like, what the? Oh my God. Guys suck. Don't even.
Mom, I'm not going to the league anymore. What happened yesterday? Listen, man, there was this guy from the Dominican Republic.
Dude, he's crushing baseballs. But then that's why a lot of the time in MLB in particular, like pitchers don't do well because you can throw 95 miles an hour, and in college that's fast. Go to the MLB, that's nothing. Like you have a fast.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, me.
Yes.
Not knowing much about that.
Yes.
What is considered like normal?
A normal fastball
Yeah.
would be like 95. 93 to 95.
That's like okay.
That's a normal. That's like a mid-tier starting pitcher coming in and just throwing a fastball.
That's light work, bro.
Yeah. So that's what that would be. Now you have outliers where these guys are throwing stuff you can't see. Like you're up at the plate and you don't see the baseball. You just see. That's it. It's like 100. Like Aroldis Chapman got popular, got really big, because he threw 102 mile an hour fastball consistently. Dude. Didn't hurt him. It's kind of crazy when you think about it, because you think about like, 95 is fast, right? Try to add 7 more miles per hour in that baseball.
Dude, that's crazy.
Right? When you're driving down the street, go 5 miles an hour, and then bump up to 15 or to 10.
Yeah.
It's a difference.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Put that into a baseball.
Especially when you're getting into like 95 and another 7, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. And because you're already at that not peak, I guess you could say, but like you're definitely like getting into the oh shit range.
It's kind of how it is for football too. I mean, you look at somebody like you look at a quarterback coming out of, let's say, Alabama or Georgia or something, and they throw the ball consistently. Their deep ball is 50 yards or 55, maybe 60 yards.
Okay.
Then you got someone like Pat Mahomes, who on a bootleg off one leg, falling down, can throw the ball, sidearm, flick of the wrist, 50. Not even trying.
I love watching those clips because you just see all the people just kind of come out of the woodwork and they're just already fans.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, he's great, but like there's gotta be some loyalty with your
Yeah.
team. You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing that does get me is Patriots. How many times do they win?
Don't even get
and
me
then
started,
you see the
bro.
kids in school. Yeah, I'm a Tom Brady fan. Wait, didn't you have like a McNabb jersey?
Yeah. Like I'm kind of a little bit guilty of that. I'm a huge Peyton Manning fan. I love Peyton Manning. I love even when he was beating the crap out of the Eagles. Yeah, dude, I love them. I just he was just so good, and I don't know what it is about Peyton that I really enjoy. But, I don't know what it is that I enjoy about him or watching him play. But when he went to the Broncos, it was like a whole nother level of entertainment. You know what I mean? But no, yeah. So getting back on topic here, no, I think that this last week of games was pretty good. You didn't really have that many upsets except for one.
Chargers and
the Chargers beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
That was a big one. That I didn't see that coming.
I told you. I texted you. I was like, listen, man, I think they're going to beat them because there was like, what, 14-3 or something like that?
Yeah, it was 14-3.
Before the half. And I was like, I think they're going to win, man. And you're like, no way, bro.
Well, dude, how can you bet against the Chiefs? But the Chiefs are the Chiefs are last place in their division right now.
Well, I mean.
They're behind the Broncos, the Raiders, and the Chargers. They're 1-2.
They're probably feeling pretty good about themselves. What do you think?
And then they get to play Philly.
I listen. If we win in the next 3 weeks, if we win,
if we go 3-0 in the next 3 weeks, beating the best teams in the league,
I'll fight everyone, bro. Like, because that's happened.
It has.
We will lose to the worst teams in the league or whoever is in that.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll lose, and it's like, oh, they're donkey, whatever. Like they suck. Their cheeks, and then we beat like the Patriots.
Yeah.
In the Super. What?
How does that happen? You know what's funny too is that's how Philly's been forever. Like for example, okay, the Sixers, right? They played the number 1 seeded Bucks in 2019. No, they were not supposed to win that game. They didn't win. They blew the Bucks out. They were up. They won like 120 to like 95. How does that happen?
What?
That's what That's what Philly sports does. We play bad teams and we suck. You know what it is? We play to the level of our competition. That's what it is. If we play a really, really good team, most of the time we'll play well. If we play a really, really bad team, okay, case in point. Last season, the Saints were pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, they lost Drew Brees early in the year.
Mr. Breezy, yeah.
But it's only one part of the team. Obviously, it's a big part, but the Eagles sucked all year. What did Jalen Hurts do in his second start? Beats the Saints. How does that happen?
Yeah, Jalen.
How does that happen? How does that even make sense? How does how does something like that happen on consistently? You know what I mean? Like look at us this year. You know what I mean? Like if we play well we're probably going to play well against the Chiefs.
If we win,
okay. If we win, I'm all in. We're going to the bowl, dude.
We're going to the bowl.
But if we think about it, you're playing a team like Patrick Mahomes has been in the league for what 4 years?
Something like that, yeah.
And he's gone to the AFC Championship in all 4.
Oh, he's not that good. Never heard of him.
Never heard of him.
Yeah.
No, it's just one of those things.
It's impressive, yeah.
It's insane. Or no, he's only been in the league for 3 years. Yeah, 3 years. No, 4 years. 4 years. Whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. He's really good at football. So if you didn't know, he's really good at football.
Cool. I never watched a football game before.
But yeah, going into this upcoming week, there's a lot. I was looking at the schedule for the upcoming games, and a lot of the games don't look like they're pretty much up in the air games. There's not a lot of games that you can look at and go, oh, this team's definitely going to beat this team. With the only exceptions would be like the Saints and the Giants. Like surely the Saints have to beat the Giants. How do
you think the Panthers and the Cowboys going to look?
Dude, it was funny. I was just talking about that before we started recording today. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I can't.
I'm
glad I
want
don't.
the Cowboys to lose so bad.
I do too, dude. I want them to get blown out like 50-0. But
Trevor
I mean,
Lawrence, if you hear this,
Trevor Lawrence, no. If Sam Darnold, if you hear this, please beat them.
or Sam Darnold. Wow, yeah, my bad.
No, dude. They like.
I was like, he's Jalen.
It's just like, oh my god. I think it's gonna be a good game. It's really coming down to offense versus defense. Like it's the Panthers' offense versus the Cowboys' defense.
Yeah.
Really, what it's coming down to.
Yeah.
But no, it's gonna be a good game, I think, and that's pretty much like you don't have a lot of locks. You know, you look at like the Ravens and the Broncos. The Ravens are kind of struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
Broncos are 3-0. Obviously, the Broncos have played the 3 worst teams in the NFL, but they looked good. They won all the games. They weren't close. You know what I mean? So are the Broncos going to be a good team this year? I don't know. Who knows? Steelers Packers is probably going to be the Packers. Not going to be. I don't think it's going to be close. The Pats Bucks is going to be a good game, you know, and so on and so forth. But
I just kind of want to see Brady just to beat his own team.
That'd be kind of cool.
I guess it's not his own team anymore, but yeah. I mean,
he's beating his old coach.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? The Patriots are the only team in the NFL Tom Brady has never beaten.
I guess as he played. Yeah.
So he's beaten all 31 other teams except for the Patriots. So will he be number 32?
Yo, what if he lose? Oh my gosh!
Imagine if he loses in Foxborough. So it's on Sunday night prime time. Yep. Sunday night prime time in Foxborough with a rookie quarterback. If he loses that game, oh my god!
Can I just be honest? I really kind of listen. I want him to beat him just so like at least one person can be like, I beat all 32. Like do the whole thing. Like I do love Brady, but it would be funny to watch him go back
and lose,
and like Belichick be like, didn't need you anyway.
So what? You won a Super Bowl without me? I don't need you. I have a rookie.
Can you talk about that for a second? That was insane. Everyone they were like, oh, he's washed. He's 40-something years old.
Well, it's because he pays the refs.
Oh, you think so?
I don't know.
Yo, it's so funny.
I hope not.
You ever watch like those like videos where it's like, oh, Brady just dapped him up.
Yeah.
Was it a 50, 100?
You know, like he throws the ball, hits the ref. He's throwing to one of his teammates when he. Or like, you know what I mean? Or
Internet's
like
undefeated.
When Tom Brady shook the ref's hand after the game. He was running off the field and he like shook his hand.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, and they're like, it's like dapping his teammate up, bro. But dude,
people are ruthless, and it's amazing because people don't miss anything.
They don't.
They don't miss a single thing.
But no, I think it's gonna be good. But yeah, what I did want to kind of touch on a little bit was the what's happening in the MLB.
Oh yeah, you and I were talking about this the other day.
It's gonna be. Dude, baseball, even if you don't, a lot of people I talk to don't follow baseball.
Sure.
And I understand that because it is kind of a slower paced game. It is something where you have to really love the sport to really watch and stay tuned with what's happening. And, you know, right now you have, in the AL East, right? You have the Rays have the number 1 seed locked up, right?
Yeah. What, 97 wins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you have the Yankees and the Red Sox who are battling right now between the first wild card spot. And guess what? The Yankees just swept the Red Sox. The Red Sox were up a game, right? They played 3 games, and now the Yankees are plus 2 games ahead of them.
Yeah.
So, and then you have like the Blue Jays who are in contention too because they can go on a run. And you know what I mean? If the Yankees lose a couple games, the Red Sox lose. The Blue Jays play in the Yankees at the moment. So imagine the Blue Jays win a couple games. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, they're only 3 behind.
Yeah. So it's like, and then you got in the NL right now, you got the Phillies playing the Braves for the number 1 seed in the East. The problem is we just lost the first game to the Braves, so now we're down 2.5 games. Or 3.5. Sorry.
3, yeah.
I don't think the Phillies are making the playoffs. I don't think the Phillies deserve to make the playoffs.
Can we just get one Philly team? Guys, listen, Philadelphia, if you're listening,
please do better. Help us. But no, I just think that, if any, I think the best thing we're going to see come out of this year for the Phillies is Bryce Harper probably going to win the MVP.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about.
I think if he doesn't win, you can make a case for everyone else in the running, but at the same time, it's not who has the best stats. It's who's the most viable player for your team.
Yeah.
And I think what Bryce Harper has done since the All-Star break to get the Phillies from 11 games out to at the time a half game back as of last week.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you have other teams like a team that nobody really thought was going to be good like this season. The Brewers, they locked up the first place in their division, right?
Yeah.
And then 94 wins.
94, yep.
You got a team that's right behind them in the Cardinals.
88, yeah.
Guess what? They've won 17 straight games. The Cardinals have won 17 straight games.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What? How does that happen? They were what, 71 and 69, and now they're 88 and 69. 17 straight games.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look in the NL West. You have like the Giants, the Dodgers, but like the Padres. It's a difference of like what, 20 yeah. plus.
Well, the Padres were supposed to be up top of the right up
what
there.
Happened?
The Giants are the biggest. What the hell happened?
Really?
What the hell is happening in the MLB?
Why is that?
The Giants really weren't that good. They haven't been good since like 2013.
How ironic, their name, and they're not very good.
They're not very good. Like they're not. They were not good. And now they have the most wins in the MLB right now. And now you have
only 54 losses too.
Yeah. And then you got the Dodgers right behind them.
101.
You know
156. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then you got like the Padres. They're not winning. They don't have a winning record. The Philadelphia Phillies have a better record than the San Diego Padres, while the San Diego Padres have Fernando Tatis Jr., who everyone thought was going to be a lock for the NL MVP. Manny Machado. They got Blake Snell. They went off in this offseason. They went ballistic with signing people, and they suck. They are not good. They were.
You heard it here first, guys.
They were good up until like the All-Star break, and then they kind of just, pardon my French, but they kind of just shit the bed. You know what I mean? They really did. It really hasn't looked good for them. But then you have like the same way in the MLB or the NFL or NBA. You got your teams that are never good, right? Like the Pirates haven't been good in a long time. The Cubs haven't been good since 2017. The Diamondbacks haven't been good since like the 90s.
67 and 90.
The Rockies haven't been good since 07.
Boy. 07, that long?
Oh yeah.
Isn't that weird to think about that we're on like 2021?
Well, I mean,
sorry to get off topic.
The Phillies the Phillies haven't been to the playoffs.
We don't got to talk.
Guess
about
when the last time the Phillies were in the playoffs?
It's 08, right?
No.
Oh, the playoffs. I thought it was
2012. 2012. We haven't won a World Series since 08.
08,
haven't been back to a World Series since 09. Haven't been,
Put me in, coach.
It's just what it is. So this year was kind of cool to see the Phillies at least in contention to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen, but that's just a whole another bunch of stuff happening with that. But in terms of the MLB in general, I think it's going to be really good. The White Sox are a team where you can look at them and say, oh, well, they're in a crappy division. They have no competition within that division. But it's like they still have 90 wins. They're still 12 and a half games up in their division, and they're still a good team. You know what I mean? They don't play well on the road, but
41, yeah.
Like somebody like the Astros. The Astros won the World Series a couple years ago, and they were like the Warriors. Like they were like from like 2017 to 19, they were just always in the World Series. Now they're still in the head of their division, but they're not the same team. They don't look the same. They don't play the same. And then another for the AL MVP race, Shohei Ohtani. He's on the Angels, and the Angels suck. And now the Angels are going to be responsible if they hold on to, because this is what's going to happen. The Angels are going to offer Shohei like a 9-year, $180 million deal, right? Probably. It's what I'm assuming. He's going to sign it. And now the Angels will be responsible for wasting the career of probably, I would say, the best baseball player in the history of the game in Mike Trout for what he does at the plate defensively, speed-wise, and one of the best two-way player we've ever seen apart from Babe Ruth. And they're going to probably ruin both of their careers. And that's what's going to happen. Because the Angels are not good.
That's just so sad.
The Angels are not good. They have not been good in a long time. I don't think the Angels have made the playoffs since, I want to say 2011,
Really?
2009 maybe.
Wow.
I haven't been good in a long time. I could be lying about that. I haven't really followed the Angels that often.
Maybe someone will hear this and give you crap for it.
Yeah, they'll text me like, dude, we made the playoffs in like 2016, bro. What are you doing?
Start a Twitter war.
Yeah. What are you talking about, dude? We got swept by the Blue Jays. Do you not remember that, dude? You're not wasting his career, dude. We're rebuilding.
We're rebuilding.
We've been rebuilding for 10 years, dude. It's not that long when you think about it.
You're sleeping on us, bro.
You're sleeping on us,
Why are you
bro.
sleeping so hard?
Dude, we have Shohei. We'll win like 78 games a year. We're only 18 games out of first place. With 6 games left in the season. We're fine. What?
Be patient.
Dude, it's like they're almost as bad as the Orioles fans. The Orioles fans are like, I don't know how you can be.
Gosh.
How can you be an Orioles fan?
51
Yeah.
and 106.
How can you be an Orioles fan ever? How can you really be like, yo, the Orioles though? Like at game 1 of the MLB season, then like next season, who's gonna be like, yo, the Orioles though? What do you do? You've won 51 games out of
That hurts. That hurts.
157 games. You've won 50.
Hey man, listen. Are you sleeping on them? Are you sleeping on
Dude,
them?
I'm sleeping all heavy. I'm napping. I'm in a coma. I think everyone's in a coma about the Orioles. They're not good.
I remember when I played like Little League, I was like 7. We were the Orioles. I loved watching them because I was like, F the Phillies, fuck them.
Dude, I was on the Pirates when I was in 5th grade. I was a little kid. I was on the Pirates. And I was like, word, Pirates, let's go. But no, I'm not like an actual MLB, but like, you know, it was kind of cool. Like we wear the same hat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
And I never hit a ball.
never hit the ball. But the Orioles are always the worst team in the MLB every year.
That's rough, dude.
For like ever.
Now, why is that? They just suck. Is it the coaching? Is it the picks or the trades? Like, what's going? Do they not have enough cap
I don't
space?
know.
Or?
How could you not have enough cap space? You don't have anybody.
I don't understand.
You're giving the ball.
And you know way more about this than I do.
Giving the concession stand dude like $80 million.
Hey man, just throw a hot dog.
Yeah.
10K.
Dude, like I don't know. There's always really bad. And there's kind of like the same, like the Diamondbacks are always bad, but like the Orioles have for like the past like 5 years they haven't won like 60 games. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing?
Wait, 5 years they've won 60 games.
I'm pretty sure. Well, I mean, like every
That's
year.
insane.
I'm pretty sure. But no, dude, they're bad. Like the Phillies have been bad. Like the Phillies are rebuilding.
Sure.
But we're showing signs of improvement. We're in 2nd place. The Orioles have been in last place since. You want to hear a crazy stat? I'm pretty sure the Orioles have been in last place since like June.
No.
Since like June. No, I'm pretty sure.
Oh man, you know what's gonna happen though? Next year, something's gonna happen, and they're gonna win a World Series, and we're gonna look back on their first podcast and be like, "Damn."
Yeah, well, the only thing, so that's the difference between baseball and like something like football. Whereas in football, right, you can be like 0-4 to start the season, but if you win 6 straight games, we have a winning record.
Yeah,
You know, you're back in it.
Whereas towards a like wild card or
in baseball, you can start the season 50-0. Think about that. You can start an MLB season 50-0 and not make the playoffs.
Play better.
Because there's 162 games in the year, right?
That's
so
to me now. Wrestling, football, track, and now like strongman. It's like 160 games is insane.
Yeah,
like
it's a long time.
That's a long amount. And how many times do they play a week?
So they play between 5 and 7. Or it depends on like the schedule. Like, so like you'll have time. You'll have a day or two off to travel.
Now,
but you play every day.
That's insane.
Like if you're a starter, you play almost every. Like for example, you'll see a lot of the times.
I didn't know that.
It'll say season, right?
Yeah.
And it'll be like Bryce Harper, and it'll say how many games has he played. It'll be out of 100. Let's say it's at the time it's out of 120 games, right? It'll say, oh, well, he's played in out of 150. It'll be he'll have played in 142. You know what I mean? That's how it is.
That makes sense. Yeah,
that's really how it is. So it's kind of crazy when you think about it, because in the baseball world, right? You get on you play 3 or 4 games.
Okay.
Right. You get on a bus, You go to either your home stadium, or if you're leaving your home stadium, you go to another stadium, you get on a plane, you go somewhere and play somewhere else. You land, you go to sleep, you wake up the next day, you go and play a game. You play 3 straight games or 4 straight games. Then guess what you do? You get on a bus or a plane and you go to another city, or you go back home.
Wow.
And then you rest for that night. You get up, you go, and you play another 3 or 4 games. And that's your life from April to September.
Dude, listen, I need to talk to their PT specialist. Their recovery.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Because like you look at like something like the NFL, right? You play for a week, or you play for one day, right? You play 4 quarters, right? You then from Monday through Saturday, all you're doing is working out, resting your body, practicing, watching film, and getting ready for the next game. So that's why baseball is, when you're really good, like the Giants are, or the Dodgers, or somebody like that. When you're really good, it shows how well you are as an organization from top to bottom, because you have, like you said, you have great PT specialists.
Yeah.
You have great players. You have great coaching. You have great time management.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, it's good all around to be that good, but at the same time, that's why you have the mid-tier teams like the Braves or the Phillies or whatever that are, so-so. Because it's hard,
insane.
dude.
I didn't know it ran that deep. I knew, like, they play a lot of games because, where I would follow either just like apps, or I would like maybe catch like a highlight, or like be on Twitter, hey, Phillies are playing like Braves, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But then they would play a couple times, and I'm like, how many games? Because for me, not being around baseball as much, my understanding of how much they're playing,
it's a lot.
Just I couldn't encapsulate. So it was just one of those things where, it just, holy cow, 160.
Yeah, it's a long time. It's what, April, May, June,
Guys are
July,
insane.
August, September. 6 months.
cow.
It's half a year. Half of a year, like a calendar year, you're playing baseball.
Dude, their bodies got wrecked.
Yeah, but no,
oh
I
my
think
gosh, one of like pitchers
That's
throwing
what I'm saying.
95 miles. Oh, I guess that makes
That's
sense. A
what
lot of
I mean.
Tommy Johns,
Yeah.
a lot of
you have to really know what you're doing. So if you're a starting a pitcher, you start once every 5 days as a starter. So think about 162 games, and you play. So how many weeks is that? So you get like close to 30 starts a year, or like less, depending on how you play. And the average, like a good season for a pitcher, is anywhere between 15 to 18 wins or higher. Like 15 and higher for wins is a good year.
Holy cow!
But no, I'm excited for the playoffs. I'm really excited. I want to see what the Phillies can do to finish out the year. I honestly want them to do well, obviously. But if I'm being honest, I don't see us making the playoffs. And even if we somehow make the playoffs, I don't see us doing anything in the playoffs. Like, I don't see us making a really big push or anything.
What if we do it?
We could. I hope we do.
Yeah.
But we're looking at like the Brewers, who are just a flat out better team than us. The Giants, who are a better team than anyone else in the league. You even have somebody like that's a team that's white hot right now in the Yankees. The Yankees are white hot right now, and you know what I mean. And so it's like, what are we doing? What are we gonna do in the playoffs? So, I'm excited for it, but at the same time, and I know we're gonna talk about baseball more as we, in different episodes and stuff.
100%.
So it'll be cool, because you'll get a better understanding of what's happening.
Sure.
Because it is a lot. Like when you're looking at stuff, like we were talking about it a week or two ago.
Yeah.
It is difficult to look up stats and try to figure out what you're looking at.
It's definitely not the same thing as looking up like football or.
And even if if you don't watch baseball and you look at the standings, you're like, oh well, they won 70 games. How are they 20 games out of first place? It's like, well, because the other team has 90. You know what I mean? Like stuff along those lines where you got to really like once you get it, you just know. Like if somebody's like, oh well, the Orioles, like they're gonna suck. Oh, like what about this team? Like, oh, like the Blue Jays are kind of good. How was that happen? How are the Rays good all of a sudden these past few years? You know what I mean? How were the Blue Jays? Like these kind of teams where it's the same way in football. Like if I say the New York Jets, a good team or a bad team? Awful.
I would say the mid-tier. I mean, I don't know. I don't really follow them at all.
They've been really bad for a really long time. But no, it's this thing. It's just like you just know. You look at a team, you look at their chances, and you're like, there's not going to be good. No,
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know about the Jets because but I don't know the last time I even caught one of those games.
Dude, well, the last Jets game I watched was in 2019 where the Eagles beat them, and we blew them out like 35-3.
Dang. Happens.
All right, so to kind of hone everything, because I know we're kind of coming to the end of our episode here. What is your predictions going into this next week of football? Let's say what do you want to see the most out of any specific game or player or?
So just looking at like week 4 here, I'd love to kind of see like obviously I know we talked about it with I want Brady to kind of beat the Patriots just because I just want to see him. As much as hate as he does get, I do want to see him beat all 32. That'd be kind of cool, and kind of put it back in like Belichick's face. And I don't think we're gonna beat the Chiefs, but Philly football maybe will
that would probably be the biggest upset or one of the biggest upsets.
I really hope so. That would probably be the one we're gonna lose. That would be like my L, but I hope it's not that way. But yeah, my dub definitely is going to be Brady. But what about you?
I think for me, I want to see the Eagles play well against the Chiefs. I really don't even care. Like, I obviously want us to win. I don't think we're going to, but I want to see us play well. Like, I want to see it be like a close game, like a 3-point, 10-point game. And I also want to see how the Ravens-Broncos game goes. Because I want to see if the Broncos are like a real team. Because if they play well, even if they don't win, but if they play really well against the Ravens or even beat the Ravens, they might be a real team. Because I know everyone's like, oh, they're 3-0 because they're punching below their weight, But I think that's going to be a good game. I think the Rams-Cardinals game is going to be good. I'm kind of I don't know who to lean towards because they're both white hot. I don't know what to do how to think about that, but
I don't know. Rams look good, man.
Yeah, the Rams look really good. They're I would say the Rams are probably the best team in the NFL.
Think so?
Yeah, at the moment. As a end of week 3, yes.
I don't know. I want to see the Chargers beat the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm not a big Raiders guy. I mean, obviously I'm not a Chargers fan either, but I'd like to see the Chargers win. I like Justin Herbert. He's another guy, second year, and he's been balling out, dude. Really balling out.
We believe in you, Justin. Beat the Raiders. But I would love to see them kind of like go on like a bit of a hot streak because like especially like watching them like last week when I was like did not think that was gonna happen and I was like, you know what, maybe they will. Like I had some faith and then they didn't. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, and I think another thing too we can look out for is how some of the rookies bounce back, like Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields and so on, Zach Wilson and Mac Jones, how they fit. That'll be cool to see throughout the rest of the year. But other than that, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much encapsulates everything I wanted to talk about today.
Well, man, that was our first podcast, and tune in soon, guys. We're gonna have our next episode. It's gonna be conspiracy theories.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about conspiracy theories. That's gonna be exciting. I'm excited for that. But yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. I obviously know a lot about sports, and I know I'm getting you more into sports.
Yeah, especially with baseball. I need to brush up on that a lot more.
But one thing that we do know a lot about is conspiracy theories.
Oh, you guys are having great.
So so I hope everyone has a great time. I hope everyone enjoyed this episode. And if you did, obviously, if you know us, let to go ahead and let us know. But all feedback is appreciated, whether it be good, bad, or in the middle. Is there anything else you wanted to say, Matt?
No, I mean, that we are stuttering in silence.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys can hear us stuttering a bunch of times. But, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Follow us on all the socials, and we'll just keep putting content out. Stay tuned.
Perfect.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys.